Guys, I want to I want to share this face, with the world, especially for Amnesty International, all human rights organizations. So let me show you guys this.
Anybody don't touch you, nobody don't do
Nobody
anything.
not knock me, sir. Nobody not talk to me. Any rough word, safe, sir.
But you don't really think so. All what he talk now, all the public, too, the whole world don't hear it. All what he talk so. You don't think so he bad for
All right. So now that you guys have seen this face, let me give you the backdrop to what is going on with this young man. This young man is a prisoner in Sierra Leone. He's what they call condemned, meaning he's on death row. And we all know that this current administration, it is subject to investigations that is currently going on with the SLPP Sierra Leone government. The president of Sierra Leone is Julius Maada Bio. Of course, we know that with everything going on, amidst all this violence and chaos in the country, he has not addressed none of these issues. But this young man that you're seeing was, of course, he's a prisoner, so he was in the prisons, Pandeba Road prisons, which is one of the biggest prisons in Sierra Leone, which is the main prison in Sierra Leone. He's an inmate there. So he gave an account of what happened, what transpired the morning of the 29th of April. And after he gave a true account of what's actually happened, the botched attempt at what people are actually now calling, because of all the information that is coming out, which of course again is subject to investigation, but it's beginning to seem like the government in power, the SLPP government, the Sierra Leone government, were the ones who actually concocted and planned this failed and botched prison massacre that happened, because allegedly the government said 14 people died, but it's like, I think so far people are saying it's almost maybe over 40 people, or 40 prisoners, including a prison officer that actually died. So as pathetic as the whole thing is, of course we've heard about other death, retribution death, that we've heard of other inmates that were present and know a little bit more about the situation. Some of these guys were attacked, butchered. The human rights conditions in Sierra Leone right now is terrible. I can tell you guys as of right now, as I'm speaking to you, people are losing their lives indiscriminately. The government has employed vigilante-style government now. People, supporters of this government have taken upon themselves, and it's vigilante style. They're just going after people. You say the slightest thing that is, not in their favor or not what they want to hear, they're going to kill you. So like I said, I showed you guys this face of this inmate, because we don't want him to come up dead just like that. Even though we know he's on death row. But he's been coerced. He gave the first message that he gave when he was interviewed. He told the truth about what happened. And then the security guards, the prisoner officers, they went back and interviewed him for the second time for him to retract his statements. So basically, this guy has been psychologically tortured. He's been coerced into lying because he already spoke the truth about what he saw. The account of, I'm going to tag this video, underneath this post anyway, so you guys will be able to see this video. I'm going to post it along with this one. But that is what is happening. So, it's sad with what is going on in the country. The current government, they're not focused on governing at all. All they care about is revenge, 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 revenge. And unfortunately, there are Sierra Leoneans that are condoning this act. There are Sierra Leoneans that are saying right now, man, what is Ibrahim talking about? The opposition is not letting this government rule. But let me tell you guys what has been happening in Sierra Leone. And the opposition has nothing to do with all of that. All the chaos and confusion that has been created in Sierra Leone has been created by this SLPP administration led by President Julius Maada Bio. All the people that have died, all the people that have been killed, of course, they've, who gave the command is President Maada Bio. Because when you're silent and people are going on the rampage, including your ministers and other civilians, like the Fatmata Sawanese and all these other people that are they're loose all over the country, just doing what they want to do. Everybody has power, everybody's in control, everybody's the president, everybody's the first lady in the country right now. We look at the unconstitutional removal of APC, which is APC is one of the most, one of the other biggest political parties in Sierra Leone. It has its flaws, corruption, and all that kind of stuff. But when we look at, the removal of alone by itself, actually went to these polling stations and threw over the ballot boxes, scattered everything on the ground. You know, ministers of this administration, taking away the democratic rights of the people. That is what is going on within the same SLPP government. But yet they're complaining that the opposition is not allowing them to govern. Nobody should talk. Nobody should say the negative things that they are doing. They don't want no opposition. Journalists are not, can't speak. If you're a journalist and you speak the truth, your life is in jeopardy. That is what is going on. We have to speak this truth. I'm sitting here in front of you as a Sierra Leonean, not as any political party. I don't care about opposition and this and that. I'm speaking for Sierra Leoneans, the country Sierra Leone, because the way Sierra Leone is going right now, that's not what we want to see. We want peace, we want some happiness, we want our people to live in harmony, and we just want total tranquility in the country. The people are suffering enough already. And we instead of us thinking, instead of this administration thinking about how they can solve the problems of the people, the food shortage. There's a food shortage coming right now in Sierra Leone and across the globe. Instead of them thinking about how they can implement strategies to make sure that they prepare themselves for situations like that. Because if there's no money, you're not going to import in stuff anymore. And we know that we all rely on import in Africa. But this SLPP administration has no focus. All they're thinking about is revenge, 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 going after opposition parties, going after the people of Sierra Leone just because they want to speak about, you know, what is bothering them. People can't stand up for themselves. Democracy is not a play. It's like we have an autocracy right now. We have a dictatorship right now because no matter who you are, if you're not a supporter of the SLPP administration, the current government led by President Julius Maada Bio, you're a threat. Even what I'm doing now, speaking the truth on what is happening. I'm not taking sides. I'm just telling you exactly what is happening. You know, because there's lack of leadership in the country. So everybody's just doing what they want to do. And look at all these people that are losing their lives. Within the past 3 or 4 days, we've lost about maybe 50 Sierra Leoneans senselessly. Is that something that should happen? So that is why I'm calling on the international, organizations. I know you guys have other things to do. Coronavirus is what is rampaging the whole world right now, and that is the focus. So we have to call the facts to what is going on. These prisoners are being tortured at this Pandeba Road prison right now. They are being beaten up every day. Human rights violations in Sierra Leone is off the roof. It's exponentially off the roof. I can tell you guys for a fact, this is what is happening. People are being threatened. People can't speak up. There are Sierra Leoneans that are not afraid anymore. They are saying what is in their mind. But that is what is happening. People are hungry. People are being starved. People are kept indoors. I mean, even those of us that are in America, with the impact that coronavirus has had on America, we've not been locked down and shuttered up and, cooped up in our houses. At least essential businesses are still open. People can go out and get food from the store. Well, no, the government of Sierra Leone declared a 12-month state of emergency for coronavirus. 12-month state of emergency. Just so that they can just coop people up. They don't provide anything for these people. No food. If they do, it's after we've said a few things and people become fed up and people start speaking up about it. That's when they'll show up to these amputee camps, the disabled people, give them some rights and some money. But this is what is going on. So I'm showing you guys this because I want you guys to look at this gentleman. I don't want us to wake up tomorrow morning and this gentleman is nowhere to be found. Even though he's a condemned prisoner, he's on death row. But we don't know what's going to happen. What's the fate of this gentleman? We don't know what people are planning. Alexa, show me ring doorbell.
Okay, my ring doorbell isn't responding.
Okay, so but guys, that is what is going. That is what is going on. You want to check maybe something? Sorry, the doorbell was ringing there. But guys, this is what is happening. I'm just concerned about this young man. That's the only reason why I'm doing this video. We know these violences all across Africa. The rights of our citizens are not respected. Black people don't respect ourselves. Only a few of us can actually are the ones that are standing up for our people. But we know that is why other races don't care about us. That is why Chinese don't respect us. That is why some white folks don't respect us, because not all of them. Because we don't respect ourselves. They see the way we treat ourselves. So why should they respect black people? Because when they see these images, they say, oh, shoot. They are treating themselves worse than, we actually treat them. If anything, it's racism and maybe discrimination. We don't butcher them up. But of course, it's happening though. You go to these Arab countries, the Kuwait, the Lebanon, the people, Libya. Our brothers, our African brothers and sisters are being mutilated and destroyed. They're killed out there. But we're doing the same thing to ourselves in Africa. When would the continent of Africa, when would African leaders realize that the people are worth something? And this is what is going on. This is what is wrong with everything that we're saying. This is not about taking sides or supporting a political party. This party is in power to address the issues of its people. They're not focused on what they should achieve. If you're doing right by the people would not go. There's going to be opposition regardless of what you do. There's always going to be opposition. Even President Trump was impeached in the United States of America. That doesn't stop him from doing what he wanted to do to achieve his objectives. He's still going ahead and achieving his agenda. He has a mission. Nothing is stopping him back. So what is holding on this SLPP administration led by President Julius Maada? Why should there be so much mayhem in the country just because opposition is saying stuff they're saying? Because people are on media, they're claiming that people are instigating others to do this, do that, without them having a focus of what is going on. Now we've seen that this Pandeba Road thing, with all the audios of what we've, the accounts that we're putting together, they're not going to show us a video to see what happened. Just the same thing that happens to the political prisoner that they are holding right now, Mr. Paolo Conte, who was a former defense minister. Show us the video to see that, okay, this man bum rushed the security system. Let's see what he did. Maybe he climbed through another window, he had a sniper rifle and wanted to shoot down the president. Show us the video. That is all the people of Sierra Leone are asking for. Show the evidence. Once you show the preponderance of evidence, that's all people care about. And where is that? It's not there. Everything has been concocted. Everything is being lied about. There's no transparency in this government. The president does not speak to the people. After the incident of April 29th at the Pandeba Road prisons, when they massacred over 40 prisoners, what did the president come out and say? Oh, well, I'm going to institute a 3-day lockdown again, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So right now, Sierra Leone is on lockdown, using coronavirus as the reason for the lockdown. Not even addressing the issue as the president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the president of Sierra Leone, not even addressing the issue of what's burning everybody in the country, with all the riots, the massacre, as the commander-in-chief, as the father of the nation, because that's what people, look up to him as the president, to say, hey guys, everything that is happening is under control. It was a misunderstanding. We're going to fix this. We want everybody to relax. Everybody calm down. This man is not doing anything. We don't know if he's the president. We don't know if he's under duress. We don't know if they've, taken power from him, but they're just using him as a caricature of himself right now. We don't know what is going on. Where is the president of Sierra Leone? This is what I want the international community to ask and find out, because the human rights violations in Sierra Leone is skyrocketing. And I'm telling you guys, today's May 3rd, we're going to keep hearing this for the next few weeks and months to come until 2023, when the next presidential elections is coming up in Sierra Leone. This is going to be the order of the day. The SLPP administration is going to keep killing people. They're not focused. You can't oppose them. They don't want anything that has to do with opposition. You can't speak about what is actually happening. And the thing is, like I said, even Sierra Leoneans, I'm getting folks sending me messages saying, Ibrahim, you don't like your country. You should not be showing all these negative things. And so some of those people, I say, it's because maybe it's not your brother or your father or your mother that was being beaten or mutilated and murdered like that. That is why you would say that. We have to show these things out to the international world. That is how the people of Sierra Leone can get help. I can sit here in comfort, in luxury, and just lap back in America and not even care about what is going on in Sierra Leone. But I'm not going to be one of those Sierra Leoneans. I'm not going to be one of those Africans. It's about time. This is the 21st century. The more people have to speak up. If you find out on Facebook or any of these other medium, people are actually attacking people for the fact that they're speaking the truth, speak up about it. Condemn them. That is how we have to get after these people, because it's not about supporting a political party. This is about the image of our country. But if we don't show the disadvantaged people and what they're going through, the sufferings that they're going through. Look at the case of the Tanibola. I don't know him. I don't know much about that story, so I don't want to talk about that. But there's a video going around, very hard to watch video of a Tanibola guy who they said was had something to do with the Pandeba Road prison breakout, and he's been murdered. Because he has so much to talk about, because he knows who planned everything within the SLPP. I don't know if all of this is propaganda, whatever the case may be, but this is what is happening in the country. There's too many dead bodies turning up. Too many people are dying every day. That should not happen. The people of Sierra Leone need solutions to the many problems. The young people don't have jobs. We have the highest infant mortality rate, which means kids are dying at a rapid pace. We have the highest maternal mortality rate. Pregnant women are dying. Why? Because of lack of health care. This government, like subsequent governments, I don't know why. They have no solutions to solving these problems. These guys are a bunch of idiots. That's all I would say. I would describe them as. They have no agenda. Let somebody name one agenda that this SLPP has come to, has presented to the people of Sierra Leone that they've worked on, that has worked at all. They said free education. Where's the free education? Where's the free education? The educational system is so dilapidated. It's getting worse every day. You know, like I said, maybe this is a curse on Sierra Leone for what is happening right now to Sierra Leone. It is a curse. We know how the elections went down. Right now, people are saying it should have been better if maybe NGC won the election or APC just stayed back in power. That is the kind of impression the SLPP government has actually placed in the minds of the people. Because there's no solution to the problems of the people. You know, people, our brothers are languishing overseas in some parts of the world. They need to go back home. People want to go back home. You and I, we want to go back home. It's going to be hard to give up everything we have out here, but there's no place like home. But how can you think about going back home under circumstances like these? Under circumstances like these, people are being taken advantage of. And the police, the military, they've never learned their own lesson. They've never learned their own lesson. Because if the police and the military, you know, they just try to be neutral in situations like these, it would be a better place for all of us. But because everybody is so tribal and partisan, that is the problem. And then police and military, they would wonder why sometimes, you know, people go after them. But because this is what they're doing. But if you're a police officer, you're a military officer, remember you have a family too. You're a Sierra Leonean, just like them. Why would you take command? Why would you adhere to command that tells you to go kill your own people? The police, the military in Sierra Leone, you should stand up for the people. Your duty is to protect the people. Your duty is to protect the inmates. So Amnesty International, please, I want you guys to take a look at this gentleman. This gentleman is being coerced right now. They want him to change his story.
Not talk to me any rough words.
He's under duress. This video that you've seen is the second one. Because they asked him to retract everything that he said back, when he already spoke the truth about what actually happened. So folks, I don't want to get this video too long. I see a lot of folks are coming online. You know, I don't want to get into an hour or something like that prolonged. But this is what is happening in Sierra Leone. And the SLPP needs to step it up. The SLPP needs to step it up. People are going to be in a position for a reason. So they call you out on your inefficiencies. That is why you have opposition. People can tell you, you're not going to like the way they say it sometimes. But they're not there to please you. Opposition is opposition. If you're doing right by the people, like I said, you are going to be all right. So look at what is happening. There's lack of leadership. Where is President Bill? Where is the president of Sierra Leone? What has he done to address the fears of the people? Or is he waiting? You know, since 1992, that we've had this man, Julius Marabio, we all know what happened to Captain Valentine Strasser. We can tell that this guy has always been hungry for power. For him, it's all about the power. What did he do? Overthrew Strasser, who was the leader of the NPRC at the time. He overthrew him. Almost wanted to kill him. So they look at, where's Strasser? Where's Strasser? This guy's been hungry as, this guy's destroyed so many lives in Sierra Leone. He's behind the repugnance, you know, situation that the country is suffering from right now. Since 1992, I was like 10 or 11 years old when this man started ravaging that country. How can we elect somebody that has not worked for 20-something years? Because after he left power in 1996, that man never worked until the day he became president again in Sierra Leone. What is wrong with us? And this is the thing. It would have been better if this man was even a janitor somewhere, working and cleaning toilets someplace. At least we know that he was doing a job, because it's a honorable job. He's taking care of people, because janitors are doing a great job. They're doing a wonderful job, keeping our kids clean and safe and healthy, our environments clean and safe and healthy. At least that's a sign of responsibility. That would have been somebody that you could have put in power. But this man has not worked for 20-something years, and you give him presidency. What is he going to do? This is exactly what we are having right now. This is the result of what is going on in Sierra Leone. He's still surrounded by that militarism in him, that militaristic tendency, thinking that everything has to be by decree, by order from above. So this democracy is not working for him. And no. When he was in power back in 1992 to 1996, it was decrees. Constitution was suspended. That's what he's used to. And that is what he thinks he's going to do again. And this is the 21st century. He's not going to get away with it. No. We see all people like Laurent Gbagbo of Ivory Coast. They had to go to the ICC. President Julius Maada Bio, all these deaths, all these people that are dying, you would have to answer. And the thing is, if you don't get your thugs under control, your so-called ministers and the civilians that are perambulating the streets of Sierra Leone, acting with, with impunity, just doing what they want to do because they're in power, you are going to be the one who's going to suffer the consequences of their action. That is what I want you to understand. You know, people ask me, Ibrahim, well, why are you not supporting any political party? Because I want to be free. I want to be able to talk, explain myself, the way I'm doing what I'm doing. I have my own movement, by the way. People's Liberation Movement. I believe about liberating our people, socioeconomically. Get our people liberated so that they can know what they're voting for. Because the problem in Africa, and that is why it is my goal to set up an organization, a system, where we can go back to Sierra Leone and across Africa, where we can go into villages, towns, and cities and educate people on why they should vote, and not just vote for tribal sentiments or because people come from the same tribal lines or regional lines. They should vote on policies, on people that they know would be able to solve their problems. And the youth of Africa, it's your responsibility too to ensure that you start getting yourself involved in politics. The apathy that youth are showing towards politics is just, it's saddening. You guys have to get involved as young people. Don't leave your future in the hands of these folks that have no clue of what is going on. Like in Sierra Leone, when you see people singing, President Bio, like it's some call to worship. What is there? What is there? You take these leaders, they can't go wrong, they can't do anything wrong. Everything is yes sir, yes sir. You just accept everything they do. So you can't even speak the truth. But there's a good thing because I can hear a few SLPP folks speaking the truth to power. And that is what should happen. This is sad. This is not what we want to hear. This is not what we want to hear. I mean, a lot of us, like I said, we want to go back home. We want to be able to do more in our communities for our people. But what can you do? When you have a government like this that does not respect human rights, they don't respect the amendment, the First Amendments of the people, the freedom of speech, they don't respect that. We were thinking that President Bio would come and maybe do away with the libel law that has held back reporters and journalists. The libel law that was instituted by, I think, Sheikh Stevens or so. It's about time we eradicate that law. And even previous administrations, you're all to be blamed for this. The APC that was in power, you should have wiped that law out. So we have to do right by the people. The international community, calling on the United Nations, calling on Amnesty International. Please pay attention to what is going on in Pandeba Road prisons. Please pay attention because they are torturing these prisoners right now. As I'm speaking to you, they are beating them up on a day-to-day basis, constantly, not feeding them, not giving them anything. Pay attention to them. Let somebody go there. Amnesty International, go pay a visit to these prisons. Talk to these prisoners. Get the report from them directly. That is what is going on with this SLPP administration. Now I saw a truckload of young men and women that they took from Lonsar, a small town in Sierra Leone. Now they've rounded up all these people. They say they were responsible for burning down the house of the chief over there and yada yada yada. They all loaded in the truck. We don't know what's the fate of those people. We don't know what is the fate of those people. It is sad. The state of affairs in Sierra Leone demands quick action, immediate action, because it's deteriorating every day, every moment. Just because the leadership of the SLPP lacks leadership. The president does not speak to the people. Then they call her Abado. That's Creole for you guys in other parts of Africa. It just simply means, exactly like a bad guy. Does not speak to the people. Does not talk to Sierra Leoneans. Does not address the nation. Is living in somewhere we don't know where he lives at. But that is what is going on. And when there's lack of leadership, there's a vacuum that is created. And that vacuum that is created, you're going to have people that are going to try to fill those vacuums. And sometimes you have the right people, but in this case, you have the wrong people filling in that vacuum. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it here. But like I said, the focus of this message is for this gentleman. I'm really, really concerned.
Anybody don't touch you, nobody don't do anything.
I'm concerned about this gentleman. I'm concerned about this gentleman. I'm hoping that, Amnesty International and other organizations would pay attention to what is going on in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone needs help. Let's pass this message around. Sierra Leone needs help. Sierra Leone needs help. And SLPP, deal with the fact that you're going to have opposition. People are going to speak about what you're doing that is wrong. Sometimes even when you're doing the right thing, people are still going to talk. But if you listen to the voice of the market, when you go there, you wouldn't be able to buy what you went there for. So pay attention, have a focused mind, SLPP, President Julius Maada Bio, have a focused mind and take care of the needs of the people. Hunger is what's going to kill people. People are hungry, people are starving. Go fix the food security concern that the people have. Create opportunities for the young people. You will see if the youth would be idle to leave their jobs to go and cause mayhem or trouble anyplace else. When you have somewhere to go, you have a focus, you have a mind, you know what you're doing, you have a family to feed, and you have that income coming, nobody would leave that to go and cause trouble. Why would I leave anything I'm doing to go and cause trouble when I know I have a job waiting for me, a great job waiting for me? Would I go and destroy my future just because of some nonsense when I know I have a great job waiting for me? How am I going to take care of my family? That is what is happening in Africa, and that is the question that you guys should ask yourself. Engage the youth. The idle mind is the dwelling place of the devil. That is the problem. An idle mind is the dwelling place of the devil. If your mind is idle, they don't have anything to do. Why do you think our brothers are leaving the continent of Africa, going through the Mediterranean Sea, going through Niger, Libya, just to go to Europe or come overseas? Leaving the continent of Africa. Strong men, strong women. They have potential, vibrant. They're in the youth. Guys, stop going to these countries. Stay back home in Africa. Go and fight for yourself. Stand up for yourselves. Get back into politics. Get engaged in politics. Young person, if you're young, you're under the age of 40, 45, get involved in politics. Contest parliamentary elections. Contest council elections. Contest presidencies across that country. Young people, come together. Form a bond because your future is at stake. Your destiny is being destroyed by these fools that don't know what they're doing. And you were the same ones that danced for them, voted for them, put them into power, but yet they've forgotten about you. The only time they'll come to you again is about two weeks to election. That's when they'll come back to you. Give you some rum, give you some liquor, give you some money, give you maybe a bag of rice, give you a nice a knife or a machete and say go kill somebody just because they don't want that person to win an election. Come together, young people, form your own political parties. Like I said, across the continent of Africa, form your People's Liberation Movements. Form your People's Liberation Movements, PLM, across the globe of Africa. That's what you should all be doing. Young people, come together, pay attention. Without politics, you would not be able to effect the change that you're looking for. Without politics, get involved in politics. Don't sit back and say, I don't care, I don't like politics. Don't sit back and say that. Get involved in politics. I'm going to leave it right here, guys, okay? It was my son's birthday today, and, we kind of enjoyed our birthdays quietly. But, of course, when you see some of these things, it doesn't please some of us. I had to say what I had to say and let you guys know. But please share this video. Let the international world know. More Sierra Leoneans need to speak out. More Sierra Leoneans need to speak out. The louder we get, the better. All right, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me, okay? All right. But let's fix Sierra Leone. SLPP, focus. Focus. Get an agenda. Let's get work going. Our people are suffering. They are hungry. They need food. They need jobs. They need water. They need healthcare. That is what they do. They need. Focus on that. Hey, APC is not letting us rule. What do you mean APC is not letting you rule? You think the Democrats are making it easy on President Trump in America too? They're not making it easy on him, but he's still doing what he's supposed to do. He's meeting his agenda. He's taking care of the people that supported him. He's doing what he has to do. Everything he promised is working on it. You promised the people that you would bring change to them, President Bio. After not working for 20-some years, you've destroyed Sierra Leone. Your print is all over the Sierra Leone. Your dirty print is all over Sierra Leone. Since 1992, you've brought nothing but mayhem to Sierra Leone. And now you had an opportunity to fix it and clean it up. But you're still acting like you don't. Of course, you don't know what you do because you're not acting like it. You don't know what you're doing. It's a shame on you. Bye-bye.